I'll go ahead and dive into this. For those of you who don't know, my name's Ben. I take care of the content side of TIEXO. For those of you who have consumed TIEXO content, it looks like the few people in this room, you guys are all familiar with us. We are an NFT aggregator. We take all different platforms, about 25 different platforms right now across Solana, and we aggregate all of their data, listings, volume, all into one spot. Both GooseFX and Holaplex are platforms on TIEXO that we've aggregated. Holaplex was actually one of the very first platforms that we put onto TIEXO way back in July of this year. And then GooseFX came a little bit later. I want to say it's just been a couple months. Um, so that's my introduction. TXO has been laying low. We've just been developing the tech in the background. After going to Breakpoint, after going to DevCon earlier this year, now that we have developed our mobile applications to a point where we feel confident, we think it's time to start the outreach. So, this Twitter space is quite literally the first, public-facing event, public-facing talk that we've done in almost a year basically. So I'm very excited, and thank you guys for joining us for being our first guests in this. Um, let's start off with Harmeet because GooseFX signed on to this ep first. So first come first serve. Harmeet, do you want to dive in to tell us a little bit about who you are and what GooseFX is doing?
For sure. Thank you for that. Yeah, so my name's Harmeet. I'm one of the core developers here at GooseFX. What is GooseFX? So we've been essentially building a super app on Solana for a little over a year now. We started with some DeFi primitives, such as setting up a Serum GUI. We now are probably going to switch that to OpenBook along with everybody else. We're currently working on perps, so that will probably be released in the next month or so as well. We've also created an NFT marketplace, like TXO has mentioned here, and we currently also built a new CLMM, a concentrated liquidity market maker, known as single-sided liquidity pools. So what that is, it essentially allows users to only have exposure to a single token of their choice when depositing assets. So for example, if you want to LP, ETH, or Bitcoin, or Sol, or USDC, you can individually deposit those tokens rather than needing to provide two tokens and worrying about impermanent loss. So that's some of the stuff we're working on, and there will be a few other features released over the next couple months as well. But happy to be here. Thanks for the intro.
What's your role with GooseFX? What are you doing with the team?
Specifically, one of the core developers. So I'm currently assisting with the smart contract side of things. So I help out writing some of the smart contracts. I also work with some of the other teams to help with like product design. I'm also, I guess, like a quasi BD guy since our team's pretty small and we don't have anyone currently dedicated to the task. So yeah, I wear a few hats on the team, but definitely been here since the beginning. And yeah, we'll stay until I'll see this project through for sure.
Gotcha. Well, hey, today I learned that Harmeet is a gigabrain. That's awesome to hear, man. Well, hey, thanks for that intro. So, Banana, I guess I've got the same question for you. Could you just introduce yourself and tell us just a little bit about what Holaplex is and what you guys are building?
Sure. So hi everyone, my name's Banana. My professional name is Jason. Feel free to call me either or.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah, and I bring that up because like Olaplex that people know and the Olaplex that is are kind of two different things now. The Olaplex that people know and kind of why we're here in the space is we used to do marketplaces and we were kind of still are a open source permissionless way for people, groups, creators to launch NFT things on Solana, right? Like I'm kind of abstracting it not from like NFTs anymore, but kind of like just things. We're going through a maturity phase, so instead of like mostly focusing on the artists that are launching on Solana, we're working on like the business maturation. We're working on trying to get enterprise companies and larger companies who want to do things in the NFT space but they don't know how to do stuff, right? Again, very nebulous stuff in the NFT space. For example, I think I can say this out loud. We were talking to like Starbucks when they did their thing on Polygon. Like we were one of the people in the running to work with them to do that thing. So, trying to work with larger enterprises who are interested in crypto and interested in the NFT space, but don't have the capability or knowledge in-house to do that. So kind of like a mix right now between consulting and like product delivery and SaaS stuff for larger enterprises. Some of our tools that we had last year, like our NFT Minter, those things are still available. Our follow on-chain graph program, so you can do like social media stuff. All of that's still available. We're still leaning into open source really hard, but just trying to like grab bigger fish and bring like the Solana space that we know to like the next generation of people who are going to be using it in about a year. And at the company, my title currently is director of enterprise engineering, which is pretty cool. Most of my work involves like prototyping new products and new ideas that we have and things that we think are going to be interesting, supporting the current client set that we do have. And fun for me, like a little bit of marketing stuff. I get to lean into doing spaces like this. I now run the Holaplex Twitter account along with my own. So I'm writing code and shit posting on the internet professionally. Sounds pretty fun.
Hey, that's a good deal if you can get it.
The fun dichotomies come when people are like, "So what's your name?" And I roll up onto like a professional phone call, and I'm like, "Hi everyone, I'm Banana." And then everybody gets to like, like either people get it or people don't get it.
Yeah,
I was
that's
on a call with
amazing.
a guy. I was on a call with a guy who had like a low key NFT T-shirt, and like nobody on my team caught it. Nobody said anything, and like I messaged this guy. I'm like, "Yo, bro, sick shirt, bro." And like he like sits up straight, like pulls his shirt down, dusts off his shoulders, like like the NFT degens are out there. And I think like in the professional way, like we're all kind of like low key at this point.
Yeah, I think so too. It's amazing how just over the last couple of years the work has gotten so much more casual. So definitely in that regard,
Yeah.
that's interesting to hear. I mean, you guys are shifting into that kind of being an on ramp for Web 2 companies into the Web 3 space, and I think that's super important. We'll definitely touch on that a little bit more later. So thank you guys for the introductions. That was Harmeet and Banana, aka Jason. How long have you guys? How long have? Or I guess I'll direct this one back to Harmeet. How long has GooseFX been building for? I've been familiar with your guys' name for about 6 months, like I said earlier. But I'm not really familiar with your story before that. Could you kind of give us, the Spider-Man, Marvel, DC origin story?
Yeah, for sure. Most of the people on the team have been in crypto for quite a long time, including myself. And we originally started the project through a Solana hackathon, actually. It was the one that took place very early last year. So yeah, that's kind of how we all kind of met each other. And then I would say we started actual core development probably around September. We were originally creating a synthetic crypto and stock uh, platform. So essentially, you'd be able to trade synthetic stocks or tokenized stocks as well as crypto. However, due to some like regulatory stuff, we thought it might be best to focus on a different product. So at that point, we shifted a little bit to different DeFi primitives. We were also working on our CLMM, so we built a few of these in parallel. We also
What is CLMM?
yeah, sorry. Concentrated liquidity market maker. So
Okay.
it's essentially a new take on the AMMs that we all currently know, like Uniswap and everything else. The way those work is they require a user to deposit two assets, usually of equal weight. With us, we allow you to just deposit a single asset, and you don't need to deposit the other side of the pair, for example, to participate in earning fees. So that was kind of the revolutionary take on that product. We also have an NFT appraisal engine. So if any of you guys currently have an SMB, a DGOD, or another top collection, you can currently you can go to our website, use our API, and you can see the real-time SOL price for that NFT. If you're US based, you could also download Asset Dash. They currently have our price feeds incorporated as well for the top collections. We are also currently working on supporting some ETH collections. I guess stay tuned for some of those as well. But yeah, and then currently we're also launching perps, given that there's a bit of a hole in the market for that as well. This will also be kind of a new take. We're going to be using Bonfita's asset agnostic order book. So essentially, we'll be able to offer users lower fees than previous exchanges were able to offer. So yeah, there's some exciting stuff on the roadmap as well as what we've already accomplished. I would say we've accomplished most of our roadmap in the last year and a bit. So we're very proud of that. And yeah, we hope to build in the space, see where we can help. We also have an XNFT, just like you guys. So yeah, continue to build wherever we can.
Oh, that's an amazing story. Quite frankly, I didn't realize that guys had such a long history in the space. So that's super cool. Now, you mentioned Asset Dash and how you guys are working with them. Um, how exactly did that relationship start, or was that something that you like as a business you guys sought after? Were you looking to be integrated on other platforms?
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting question that you brought up. Yeah, when we first came up with this data, we never intended it to actually, we didn't really know what to do with it. We were either going to add it to our marketplace, which we probably will. But yeah, there was really nowhere else for this data to be supported. Asset Dash, they actually were friends of ours, so we knew them kind of through the space. They also kind of had a platform already set up. So and they were very fast with the integration. They showed us some previews within the first week. They had it up on their site the next. So we were very happy with the speed of that team and the way the price feeds look was also good. The fact that you can toggle the prices on and off was also nice for users, given
Yeah,
that we
absolutely.
currently don't support all the collections. But yeah, we just, like I said, we're very willing to work with teams. We love building on the space. So however we can improve this space and provide data and other tools to users, I mean, we're happy to help.
Yeah, that's awesome. As a daily, weekly Asset Dash user, it's really interesting. It's fascinating, really. Whenever you hear about, another friend of yours is connected somehow, and I just had no clue. So that's super cool. And for you guys, for anybody in here that doesn't know, Asset Dash is a super cool platform where you connect your wallet to their platform, and depending on what NFTs you hold in that wallet, you can receive percentage off of purchases. You can receive completely free goods. It's really cool. It's kind of like a coupon honey type application, but for NFTs and blockchain. I think I got introduced to them through the Rascals program. I think that was one of the first, probably the first NFT I ever had that unlocked that. Okay, yeah. So thanks for opening up about that a little bit. How big? I'm just gonna stay on the GooseFX here for a second. How big is the GooseFX team? Like, I know you guys said that you just had a kind of a working meetup in Miami, but like, how many people are behind the scenes?
Yeah, so right now the team is approximately 14 or 15 people. We'll probably add one or two more full stack engineers. The team is mostly engineers, I would say as well. Probably 11 or 12 out of that team is engineers. Yeah, and a few of us participated in offsite. Unfortunately, the whole team couldn't join. Part of that was due to visa restrictions, and part of that is also us just trying to preserve some capital as well. But yeah, hopefully we're going to do a full team offsite sometime next year. So excited for that as well to meet the remaining members of the team that we haven't yet. But yeah, that's currently our team size.
Awesome, awesome. So, but then I have a similar question to you. So, and I heard you pronounced Olaplex as Olaplex, right? Is that the right way to say that?
I think internally we say Holaplex. Like a lot of the team has like Latin and Hispanic origins, so it's kind of
Uh-huh.
supposed to be like a waving hello. But I think we're pretty chill, and if people say like Olaplex or Ola, like how I don't give a shit. Ultimately, I don't mind how anyone says it. I don't think anyone in the company is so like
as,
serious. Like, no, it's pronounced like this.
as long as you're being talked about, right?
Yeah. And, you know, if people ask, I'll tell them how we pronounce it internally. But otherwise, I don't have a problem with it.
Uh, well, as a guy, as a large white dude in the U.S. who constantly speaks in broken Spanish, I'm gonna start calling it Olaplex just because that seems like
Yeah,
the right thing to do right now.
that's the right thing to do. And I think we'll all wave hello as you say it and gladly smile back.
Oh, okay. Well, on that note, so how you guys are a really recognizable name in the space. You've been around all through the NFT and kind of the Solana NFT boom of late 2021 and early 2022. What's your origin story? I mean, like how did you guys get started? I mean, are you an original member of the team? All that good stuff.
Yeah, super interesting and valid questions. No, I am not an original member. I'm not a founding member of the team. The team started. I think the big party was in late 21. I think the team started early that year, and my understanding is our founder Alex um, has been working with Solana Foundation for a while, and my understanding is he already has a dev shop. Like our founder has a company, they do dev stuff. He's got a stable of developers at his disposal, and they decided to try something. Is my understanding. The initial Olaplex was a fork of Metaplex's storefronts, right? Like they saw a product that existed in the space that they did not feel was at the level it could be. So my understanding is Olaplex was just kind of like a hackathon project for this guy, where they said, hey, can we build this thing and will people use it? And this is just as, at least from my point of view, just as the NFTs were starting in the space, like June, July, September, right? August, those times of 21, and they took off as a product, right? Like they went from 0 stores to like 4,000 stores in the course of a month. They were, 8 people, mostly developers, kind of hacking on a thing for fun. I joined the team in January of this year, so kind of saw things happening um, as an outsider on the team. I was an artist, right? Like I came from a traditional engineering background, a traditional technical background. I was working for a big finance company. Had no intention of joining tiny startup, anything like that. But I got into NFTs, right? Like I got into crypto and NFTs, and finally having a little bit of capital at my disposal. And I'm watching on Twitter. I'm seeing Zero X Function, right? He's like, I just sold this NFT in 20 minutes, and like that was like half your salary. And I'm like, that's bullshit. I'm like, that's bullshit. I DM the guy. I'm like, show me the transaction. Put up or shut up. Like he sends me a transaction. He sends me a screenshot of his wallet, type of stuff, and I'm like, great, okay. What do I gotta do? You show me that this is real. You show me that this is happening. I got into that space, learning about NFTs as what they existed. Next thing I know, I'm showing my friends some of my art because they're showing me some fucking pixels that they bought for thousands of dollars, and I'm like, what the fuck are you guys spending thousands of dollars for? I got art, and then they're like, I'll give you some money. Like I'll buy that art from you right now, like make it an NFT. And I'm like, whoa, like what do you mean? Like you're gonna give me money for this fucking picture that I've got on my phone that I made years ago? And they're like, yeah, I'll give you money right now. So like as a user, falling down this rabbit hole, finding Olaplex as a user, finding literally the only tools that existed on the space to mint or sell NFTs effectively, and that was September of 21. I spent the second half of the year kind of like championing NFTs, saying Holaplex is great, yada, yada, yada. And then they called me and said, hey, do you want to join the team? Are you interested in being an engineer? And like, I had a day job. I was not interested in joining a tiny startup. Like I worked for Bloomberg, like making it, and then it's, join tiny startup, 8 months into our development. And I took the opportunity, which has been a really, really fun ride since.
Yeah,
And
coming up on a year.
I'm coming up on a year. The business is at, almost 18 months. We've got, a couple of customers now that are giving us, with monthly constant revenue. We have runway. Like we've got all this stuff that came from, you know, effectively a tiny hackathon project in from a company that already existed. Right? They're like, yeah, we'll put some of our resources over here. Sure, why not? And then they kind of got lightning in a bottle during those 6 months. I think we all kind of like anybody who jumped into the space, artist, engineer, or otherwise, like kind of like saw this like crazy thing happening, and I think we're all pretty excited still. I think people who are still left in the space are still pretty excited to see what we can see what bigger, better bottles we can build, so that the next time lightning strikes, we're able to like capture it and stare at it for a lot longer. It's pretty exciting from my point of view.
Well, I'm I'm an onboarding maxi. I fully believe that whoever can crack that egg, whoever can help not only individuals but most importantly businesses translate and move into the Web3 space. I think that they're going to have immense success. So I'm a cheerleader for you guys in that regard.
Oh,
And I
thanks,
think
man.
it's really interesting to hear the similarity in stories between Olaplex and GooseFX. Starting with kind of a hackathon. Starting as people that didn't know each other. Problem was identified. They put their heads together to work on it, and now a year later, year and a half later, 2 years later, you guys have these thriving businesses. I think it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, definitely one of the benefits of being in this space is just literally being able to hop into a hacker house. And if you guys haven't been to a hacker house yet and have the opportunity, like go. If you're an engineer or or even not an engineer looking to find a team, like go. And
Absolutely.
you'll find the most amazing people and the most amazing time.
Yeah, as a non-engineer, I spent the last year going to Solana events, going to other like ticketed paid events, and it was the most beneficial thing I ever could have done. Just the people that I've met and the sheer amount of education that you can get for free at these places, it's amazing. So speaking of that, of hacker houses, do you guys have plans for 2023 to go to like Breakpoint, to go to any of the? I believe there's 10 Solana hacker houses this year. Are you guys going to be putting in any in real life FaceTime with people?
I will be at any and every event that Olaplex has the opportunity to send me to. I live in Puerto Rico, so there's not much in the way of local hacker houses. But I definitely try to make it to the ones on the East Coast for sure. So like New York has been one that I've gotten an opportunity to go to. I missed Chicago last year because I was moving.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely whichever one's making on the East Coast, and fingers crossed for Breakpoint. That's a year away now, like 10 months away. So it's kind of hard to say if I'm going to be able to make it up there.
True.
But
True.
fingers crossed that I will be at every event, and we'll all hang out socially and in public. And if anybody wants to go to stuff and anybody's like going to things, like just send me a message, and if I'm going, I'll let you know. I'm
Yeah,
super
definitely.
super amenable to meet people.
I'll keep that in mind. What about
Yeah,
you, Harmeet? What about Goose?
yeah. I actually attended, I would say, a good amount of the hacker houses in the last year since the first breakpoint. I attended the second breakpoint as well. Yeah, I mean, if there's breakpoint this year, which I assume there will be, or sorry, next year, yeah, some of us will be there as well. I am also East Coast based, so I'll likely attend any of those hacker houses that aren't too far away. Our team's fairly distributed, so usually we try to send whoever's closest and try to get some representation from the team as well at the hacker houses. They're always like Ben and everyone mentioned, they're a lot of fun. It's great to meet other teams, do some IRL stuff. Everyone's always great. It's always great energy. A lot of integrations come out of those as well, at least for us. So yeah, we always love participating and being a part of the ecosystem.
Yeah, are you guys' teams growing right now? I mean, it seems like just about every project building in the space right now has hiring either in their bio or in their name, or you go to their website and the very first thing you see above the fold is a giant apply button. Are you guys also hurting for engineers or hurting for marketing or content creators, anything like that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, at least on the dev side, there isn't too much remaining technical debt. We have most of it covered. But yeah, we're always willing to hire smart people, smart developers, whoever, is very dedicated to the community, willing to work hard, understand the longer hours at a startup. Anyone who's willing to take on that challenge, we happily take those interviews. And yeah, like I said, we are still looking for a couple more engineers. But yeah, the team has gotten to a good size at this point.
How many up there are you total?
Yeah, I would say approximately 15, and then we're probably going to add one or two additional members from that side. Yeah, from the engineering side.
Yeah, 15 people, a company in Web3. It's amazing to see. I'm very happy for you guys.
Oh yeah, let me also throw in the hat there on that topic. We're like 20 to 30, 20 to 25, 30. We're half of just about engineers, very similar. And we're also looking for talent. I don't know of like a specific skill set immediately that's available. We're kind of looking for Rust. We're kind of looking for Rails. But echoing the sentiment that it is a startup and there is an understanding, and it's like super shitty to say like, you got to work hard at a startup, and we're looking for people who are going to work hard and understand that it's longer hours than a regular job. I really despise having to say all those things because I truly do believe
That's
it's
the
like,
reality.
yeah, like work-life balance. I like truly do believe it. Like, got kids and shit, and I want to see my kids, and I'm not trying to work 20 hours a day, but I definitely do work more than I did in like traditional corporate. But we are looking, and please reach out if you're interested. And the caveat to reach out if you're interested is reach out if you're interested and you want to work with us. If you want a job, don't send me a message. But if you like are really interested in what we're doing and you're interested in the people that are on the team, please reach out and send a message, and I will gladly see what's available for you.
No, that's good to hear, guys, and I'll always drop your name whenever I hear anybody looking. Well, I shouldn't say anybody. When I hear somebody I know with some skills is looking to expand their workload. I don't know if you're interested. If you are, afterwards I can send you this information over. Empire DAO has a Telegram group. And in there, they started off like a Web3 jobs kind of sub Telegram group. And what it is both people looking for work and also companies hiring. You can fill out this quick Google form, and it'll just populate it onto this Telegram group. And I don't know, there's like 5,000 people or something in there. Just the other day, I saw someone post. There was the person that manages that. He posted this anonymous message someone sent him that said, "Hey man, this person reached out to me after I posted in your group. It's a week later, and now I've got a new job." And I think that's awesome. So I can send that over to you guys if you're interested in that. Okay, so we've both talked about both of you guys having that engineering background, that dev background. So what is it about GooseX, or what are some or what is a feature about GooseFX that you think is unique to your platform, that you think has been really well coded, or you think that is super scalable? Like, what's something about GooseFX that you just think is like the coolest part about it from a developer standpoint?
Yeah, that's a really good question, and really hard to say since we're building a lot of cool stuff. But what I guess is revolutionary that we built that isn't available anywhere in the ecosystem or any other blockchain would be our concentrated liquidity market maker, the single-sided liquidity pools that I mentioned.
Yep.
If you had interacted with Jupiter over the last couple months, you might have noticed that we were one of the top routes there as well, and that was due to how capital efficient this new AMM is. And that's what is most impressive. I mean, in the past, if you wanted low slippage for users, you would need greater than 50 million TVL, say the least, especially if it's going to be a lot of trading. However, now we're able to be close to 100 times as efficient. So, meaning that we can achieve similar results with, for example, 50,000 in liquidity that someone would have needed to achieve with millions. So that's very impressive, and we're currently scaling that product out, improving those algorithms to provide better yield for users. So that's what we're currently focused on, and we're currently working on the V2 for those pools right now. So very excited for that product, and it'll be very interesting because it will once the product is at scale, it will be a truly passive income product. Like I'm sure most people thought when they first started providing liquidity, that you wouldn't need to manage your position, that you can just deposit and forget, and then just come back and withdraw your liquidity, and then do whatever you want to with your money. So that's essentially what we're building here in Web3.
That's fascinating, and yeah, that Jupyter integration, I would say was probably the introduction of Goose to a lot of people. I remember seeing you guys on there after already being familiar with your name and just seeing the name recognition and being like, oh hey, I know those guys. We've worked with those guys. We've integrated those guys. That's super cool to hear, man. But Anna, I have a similar question for Olaplex. I know you guys are in a little bit different of a situation because you've pivoted away from being this marketplace supporter, and are now kind of being more of a general Web 2 into Web 3 supporter. But what do you guys think, or excuse me, what do you think your team is working on that is unique from other providers that you just think is a super cool thing that businesses or NFT projects or people can use?
For me, I feel like that question's like, what gets me out of bed in the morning? Like, why?
Yeah,
Why do I
what
get up?
gets your D hard
Yeah.
about Olaplex?
For me, it's I have the opportunity personally and professionally to build like whatever I want, as long as it supports a customer need and as long as it like onboards the people, and especially if a customer is asking for it. And we are in Solana NFTs in this super greenfield space where a lot of the tools that people would expect to exist, like the people that we want in the space, like people with a lot of money, the millions of users, right? Like either it's one or it's a lot. Like they expect certain things to exist and they just don't. They're just not here. So for me, it's like I get to be a technical expert in a really, really cool new emerging space with my teammates who are also fantastically fucking expert in what they do. We get to talk to companies who, are interested in the space, which is something that I would never get to do. Like, talk to super cool Fortune 100 companies on like,
Yeah.
the regular. And then they're like, hey, we want to do this. And they're like, can you do that? And we're like, huh, that's interesting.
Can we do that?
Can we do that? Hell yeah, we could do that, right? And then it's like, we turn around like, yo, can we do that? And it's like, well, give us a month. Right. And then we get to go and build a lot of really, really cool tech. So for me, it's like doing a lot of really cool business stuff that was not something that I even thought I could do working in traditional enterprise personally, like just, being a cog in the big machine. Now I get to do really, really cool, interesting business stuff. And we're constantly talking to new businesses about their needs in the space, and then I get to go build things that are useful, and things that are actionable for people, things that generate income for these businesses versus work that I personally was doing before, which is kind of like engineering, like really like low, like in the weeds, like this system is still up, like that's cool. This is kind of cooler. So it's literally get to build in a greenfield space. I feel like every conversation that we have, somebody's talking about a thing that they're building or something that they saw coming because there's just like this need in the space. So for me, that's what's super interesting. I mean, Goose talking about like concentrated, liquidity pools, like that's super fucking cool. Nobody's doing it, and we get to talk about it and think about it all day.
Yeah, I mean, they're literally making the market, right? I mean, there's I know it's in the name, but in this case, they're literally making the market, creating that whole new sector.
I think stuff like that, at least from a high level, stuff that gets me really, really excited. It's just like we get to like have these really, really great heady discussions about really, really cool emerging tech that hopefully will outlast us as engineers, but more importantly, will be things that people are finally starting to talk about, in 5-10 years from now. Right. I mean, I think we're moving fast with NFTs. We're all talking about NFTs a year ago. Some people talking about NFTs 2, 3, 4 years ago. And now today we've reached digital collectible, and it's becoming palatable to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's shifted
We're
from
early.
NFTs as artwork to NFTs as utility or NFTs as company shares, you know.
These tech are going to continue to grow, and I think having the opportunity just to build on it in some way is super, super cool.
So speaking of, since TXO is awfully NFT focused, I have to ask you, Banana. You mentioned earlier that you have a bit of a creative flair yourself. Are you still actively creating art or actively creating NFTs, or or should we be on the lookout for a Banana project anytime soon?
Me a place to do some marketing. So if you're if you're not already, go to Solana Spaces Twitter, right at Solana Spaces. They have a program project that they're doing called Drip House. You can also go to that website, drip.house, HAUS. You sign up with them, and then they do one NFT drop a week of like some artist they're collaborating with. They have 50,000 wallets registered already. The teaser is next week I have a drop, which is pretty exciting. They just launched a Deejing Poet drop yesterday. So if you're into the space or you want to get into, one-of-one art on Solana, quote unquote, fine art on the blockchain, this is a super easy way to get exposure without having to put up any capital.
Hey, that is awesome. First of all, congratulations on getting into that pipeline, and then second, thanks for telling us about that. I remember seeing an announcement about it. I don't know, a couple weeks ago maybe, but haven't seen anything since. So I needed that reminder as well.
Thanks for asking. Yeah, go check it out. Get some free art, and then put it up on your wall.
Yeah, of course. I can't wait to have a piece of banana in my life. Which, oh, speaking of banana, which this is only related in my mind because I'm just kind of got a smooth brain. You mentioned Puerto Rico earlier. Um, Love it there. I was there for, I don't know, about 6 months last year. Absolutely loved it. I don't think I can live there again though. Like you can kind of convince yourself that because it's just enough like America, you can convince yourself like I really want to live here for a long time. But then for me anyway, at the end of the day, it's still a third world country, and the internet went out twice a week, and like 99% of things just didn't go as planned. Um, Love it there. Forever vacation spot. Gonna go visit my friend Logan Paul there soon. But yeah, man.
Oh, dude, it definitely has its struggles. I did not like the first time the power went out, like proper went out. My mom comes from the Dominican Republic. I've been to the Dominican Republic as a kid like a bunch of times, so like it's super common to hear like "La luz se fue," right? The light went out. So like having the power go out
Yeah.
here like once like oh it went out for an hour or two like okay whatever, and then like one day like there was
Like
like a
15
generator on the other
hours.
side. Dude, a generator exploded on the other side of the island. We were out of power for like 4 days, and
Oh,
like
ooh.
yeah, it was my first real experience, and it was a fucking hassle, dude. Like I had to go out. I did not have a generator. Had to go get a generator. Had to go get gas. Like wait in line with everybody fucking else. Like like oh great, like like situation happens, and then like yeah, no internet because I didn't have a plan for that. So like I'm on my
Yes, sir.
phone, and like the first time, like the silver lining was the first time like the whole situation happened. I go to my job and I'm like, hey guys, like this shit happened. Like I'm kind of out of pocket for a couple days, and they're like, that's cool, bro. Handle your shit. Like go take care of your stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's really nice. Silver lining, kind people. Enterprise would not have that. They would be like, why do you live in Puerto Rico? What the fuck is that? Um, but yeah, now I've got like a hotspot with like dedicated internet, and like I've got fucking generator, and I've got a backup can of gas, and it's a fucking hassle. And I agree and completely understand. The caveat I have, I shipped all my shit here.
Oh, you're really in it for the tax break.
I shipped all my stuff here. I moved my car here. Like my kid goes to school here. Like it's a fucking hassle at this point.
Now you're just in it. You gotta see it out.
In it, and yeah, there's no winner. man, like I'm looking at like a beautiful like lush green garden right now. Like it just had like a nice little sprinkle of rain. A rainbow came out. Like, bro, I'm chilling. Like I feel you on a lot of that, but like different strokes for different folks.
Yeah. Oh, it's so nice there. I definitely will go back, just for short trips though. Okay, so we're about 45 minutes into this thing. This isn't like an episode of I don't know, The View, where we've got set stones. It starts at 9 o'clock, ends at 10 o'clock. But because this is kind of we're in our infancy of this Spaces show, I do want to try to keep these first ones to about an hour. If we roll over, no problem. But on that note, though, I kind of want to get your guys' opinions on cross chain. So, both Holaplex and GooseFX are actual builders in the space, not necessarily tied directly to NFTs or not necessarily tied directly to any one thing, but just overall the blockchain space. With everything that's went on with FTX, Solana, for example, no matter what they say that they've got a 30-month ramp, excuse me, a 30-month funding, they still had a lot of funds that were locked up in FTX. There was still a lot of shared employees and deals and investments that were all interrelated. And it makes me think personally, because I'm a Solana maxi, because I cut my teeth in blockchain on Solana, that I should probably start looking at other blockchains to become educated in, start making contacts, and start becoming familiar with other projects building on other chains. So I wanted to ask you guys that. I mean, are you actively looking at expanding onto other blockchains like Aptos or Sui or even Polygon, Ethereum? Or are you guys going to stay focused on Solana for the duration, and just an absolute Solana maxi? And Goose, maybe if you wanted to start with that one.
Yeah, I can
Excuse me,
start.
Harmeet. Sorry about that.
No worries. Yeah, I can start on that one. Yeah, so I mean, we originally have just been building on Solana. That's currently what we're doing. That's where we're focused. We do work with Wormhole as well, though. So we are probably going to be utilizing them to bridge liquidity, maybe interact with NFTs in a cross-chain manner on the marketplace as well. So we do have plans to support cross-chain assets as well as NFTs. We also, for the NFT appraisal engine, will have support for some of the top Ethereum collections as well. So we are very much focused on Solana, but we, we're okay with the cross chain movement. We don't despise of it or anything. We just want people to build, increase, retail activity through all the chains. So wherever we can build or wherever we can get the most users and most traction on blockchain itself is probably where we'll focus our time and attention.
I think that's so cool to hear you say specifically, like, we just want people to build, right? We just want to help push adoption. Uh, um, awesome answer. And I know, can I ask you though, can we either talk about this now or maybe at the end of this? What is the NFT appraisal tool? That's something I'm not familiar with.
Sure, yeah, happy to speak on that as well. So for the last year, we've actually in-house been building a machine learning model that can evaluate top collections based on sales activity, trades, sales velocity, and a few other metrics. So we take all of this into account, and we will derive a real-time valuation currently in Sol for those NFTs. So if you go to our docs right now, docs.goosefx.io, you'll be able to see the section for NFT appraisal engine. And it's very easy to make some of those calls. We walk you through an example collection where you can evaluate an SMB or just the whole collection itself. So it's a very interesting tool there. And we also plan on integrating that data into our marketplace as well shortly. So yeah, we're currently working on V2 for that, and then we'll be adding all of that data in our marketplace as well.
That is super cool, and kudos again to you guys for making everything just available, making all your tools available for people that want to use them. bullish on GooseFX. If I wasn't before, I am 100,000% bullish on FX now, GooseFX now. Okay, Banana, I have the same kind of question for Holaplex. You guys especially, since you're kind of moving into this onboarding role, what do you think about the cross-chain movement? And are you specifically looking to cater to any other blockchains coming up?
I think if you are someone in the space, I think it's short-sighted not to look at what exists in the space. We're a business that was born in Solana. We're going to support Solana. Like, I love Solana. My career is kind of like built on these things. But I think, if you're an engineer and you're a builder in the space and you're not looking around and, like, at least in our position, listening to customer needs and what people are interested in, we're going to lose business opportunity. And ultimately, when you're positioning yourself as a business that does NFT things, or, fungible token things, you want to support kind of like whatever the requirements are for your client, whatever their needs are. And ultimately, being like trusted advisor, we want to make sure that we're also suggesting to potential clients, current clients, whatever, the best course of action for their thing, right? They may come to us and say, hey, we want to build a loyalty program. We want to launch 1 million NFTs. Like, we want to do it over here. And we're like, oh, that's cool, but have you considered this, because it'll be cheaper and faster? Or, whatever. Then, that's really great for them. They say, oh, cheaper and faster. That's exciting. Like, you just saved us 50 grand on, on our proposal. Like, amazing, right? I think just being aware of what's going on and being able to choose what's best for your client is more important than being a chain maxi. With that said, as an artist, personally, I have found no support outside of Solana whatsoever. So, I will continue to create NFTs in the space, and support the space in that way. But again, if you're just not looking around, like, you're not going to see what's coming for you. And, with the collapse of FTX, like, with all of these like huge issues that have happened, if you're not looking around at how to keep your business, safe and successful through what's going to be a very difficult bear market, like, you're bound to fail.
Yeah, I think so too. It's no different than any other traditional business. If let's just simplify and say, all your revenue stream comes from one customer, and in this case, it's Solana. Maybe you've got a business model that needs to be looked at. Okay, so I appreciate your guys' opinions on that. TIEXO, of course, we're built on Solana. Dashboard 2.0 is coming out, though, and I really don't want to have my team destroy me in the chat if I leak too much information right now. But it's not necessarily just focused on Solana. And with our background as operating Moonlit, we're a node operator for, like, I think it's 30 different blockchains right now. So we see and we have a partnership with Wormhole, so we see the cross-chain future that's on its way. Guys, I appreciate you joining us very, very much. I know that Solanart had to back out at the last minute, so you guys weren't really able to meet and have introductions with those guys. So I'd love to invite both of you to our episode next Thursday. Next Thursday is a backpack-themed episode. So our actual kind of the official guests on there are all going to be backpack builders. I know that Harmeet and I talked about this already, and I think they're going to be joining us. This was our first Twitter Spaces in this AMA series. I'm really thankful for everybody that joined in on us. We're going to be doing these every Thursday for the next couple months is the plan. Upcoming, we have TIEXO does anyway. Upcoming, we have our Christmas gift away. It's our second annual Christmas gift away, and at this moment, we've got 6 NFT projects that we are collaborating with, and we're going to be giving away all kinds of NFTs the week of Christmas. Yeah, and my name is Ben, and again, I just very thankful for everybody that joined us today. And Banana, Harmeet, did you guys want to just hop on here on the way out and say any final words?
For sure. Yeah, thanks everyone that came out, listened to all of us speak. Thanks TIEXO and Holaplex. Both of you guys are I've been in the ecosystem for a while. Great teams, great builders. So happy to be on here with you guys. And yeah, anyone that is listening that wants to check out our app, feel free to check out our app at app.goosefx.io. Feel free to explore the app and stay tuned for what we have to build next. We have a Discord where we post updates as well. So feel free to just add us on our socials and just watch our journey. Thank you.
Any better. Thank you guys for the time. Thank you guys for the opportunity. I look forward to talking to you all soon.
I thank you guys. It's been nice actually meeting you in real life, and thanks to everybody else. And I'll see you next week. Bye guys. Bye bye. Love you all.